Hi everybody, I'm Chuck Beaver. I'm doing a dev commentary playthrough on Dead Space 2. I'm on chapter 5. Let's get going. Let's do this. Let's have a quick look at this menu while we're here. Oh, there's Dead Space Unitology stuff everywhere. So the marker, there's more and more of the marker now in the background as you progress through the story. I'm on chapter 5 now, so there's a lot more particles in the background. Maybe they're floating around a center a bit. And obviously we're in Isaac's brain here. This is sort of like like the opening to Fight Club. It's like you're going through the mind of Jack. Here you're in the mind of Isaac. And in his mind are the marker plans, which is what we've manifested here. Dino, Ignacio, and the UI team were really such great partners for story. They wanted some thematic grab, basis for the UI. And then once we told them what the whole story was, they're like, okay, we're going to do this. And so they were excited to have a progressing UI background that, again, progressed as the story went. And at the end, of course, the story, you realize that marker was in Isaac's brain, and that was the whole impetus for this story, is they took the marker plans out of his head, built the marker here, he's like a centerpiece of the whole story. All right, we're going to continue our game. We are about to start chapter 5. Why did we not name the chapters in Dead Space 2 and have a cool code like Nicole is dead in Dead Space 1? Well, to be honest, we were trying. By the time we were in control of Dead Space 2 in the second year, and Glenn and the team had left, we were trying to differentiate ourselves from Dead Space 1 in as many ways as we could. And we didn't want to seem like we were just repeating that gag, as great as it was. I'm actually a little regretful now of that, because I think we should have done it. It's a welcome thing. I think we returned to it on Dead Space 3, having missed it on Dead Space 2. I do wish we would have. That would have been fun. All right, we are in the Cryo chamber now. This is where they're freezing all the dead bodies, Unitology, which you signed your body over when you joined Unitology. Where am I going? And little do you know that you are being held in order to wait for the convergence event. You're unwittingly being the end of the humanity's existence. All right, I'm playing on casual so I can talk, which means my inventory is chock full all the time. So if you're looking for a game playthrough, this is not your show. I'm here to talk about, the dev behind the scenes of all this stuff. So, okay, well that's bad. One of these, look, so good. Another great Isaac Dementia moment from Ben Monat, the Great. I remember they were trying to figure out how to do this, and I don't know the tech of our engine, but I remember they were talking with the engineers about how could we do that without having to load in, like switch over instantly, right? Because it's just an instant snap into the camera, and everyone was scratching their heads. Like, man, we can't load all this in. Like, it takes a long time to load this in. You can't load a whole other one in. And I think the answer was in layers in the game, and they would just switch over to another layer. So the thing you just saw is sitting here in the stream set, right? It just triggered off for the moment. And this was Ben's forte. Like, he knew that effect system and all that stuff backwards and forwards. So he was able to come up with very ingenious solutions that gave us beautiful, crazy effects in the game constantly. Wait till we get to the end of the game. Like, that whole... I think there's a whole section that Ben just like, oh, we got to do this because we forgot a boss. He's like, I got it. And I think he did it in like a whole weekend or something. He's a crazy, talented guy. Every game needs a Ben Monat. I'll save on everything. Bastard. Look at these. She's all backwards. Like, we were, the slasher is the go-to enemy in Dead Space, obviously. And so we had to come up with different versions of them. So this was a great one. She was all twisted around. There was the Unitology ones up in the church, Okay, I think it's safe to move on. Here we go. We're going down here now. Ah! Why are you just waiting there for me? Get out of here, bastard. And I'm not even doing this one right. It's really good. I like that level design. That's pretty solid. All right. Just in case you want to get up, motherfucker. All right, we're going to keep going through the catacombs. Oh, look! This is fun. When is this going to be? We struggled to replicate the Centrifuge, if you remember from Dead Space 1. That was such a great room. Brett Robbins had taken a really, really shitty idea I had for the Centrifuge. I'm not a level designer, and I had submitted a laughably dumb idea that was like over like a huge. Anyway, it was like not functional, but there were seeds in it that were somewhat useful to an actual designer like Brett. So he took it and turned it into the really, really great Centrifuge multi-stage concept that you'd seen, that we got to play there, and it had the multi-stages, and it was just, his design was really brilliant on that, so that was good. And if I'm leaving anybody out on that, I apologize. I don't know if it was just Brett. Was there a level designer helping? I feel like it was just Brett. Anyway, we didn't have another big massive state change set piece like that in Dead Space 2.
I think I found the exit, but it's way above me. Gravity controls are locked out. Dana? Fuck.
I don't know why I wrote so much fucking in with Isaac. Like, why did I have him curse so much? That was like not okay. So I gotta get up there. We gotta figure out how to get the gravity controls offline. Oh, gold semiconductor. That would be fun if I was playing for real. Am I gonna go up? Let's go up. See what happens. Or I'm gonna go down. Oh, we're gonna go down here and mess with some gravity controls. So we're gonna do a little bit of puzzle. Again, we were like mixing horror with action more here because we're like...
I don't know if you can hear me. You need to go up. Do you hear me? You need to go up.
Thanks, Dana. More action and less. We were aliens to Alien in this one, and trying to make it work. So there was, some good... We kept our honesty with the puzzles here. Stasis stations everywhere. There's a thing to push here. Let's go see. We obviously got to, like, get this thing at the right stage. Let's try this first. All right, let's see what we get. We, as you will know, on Dead Space 3 went kind of full Drake's Uncharted and had very little horror to begin with. So here's a trick about puzzles in games. When you put something together, your version of the puzzle is going to start out 10 times more complicated than a first-time user will be able to comprehend. And what will seem like dead simple to you, like laughably, unacceptably simple, is going to be the end state of the puzzle. And, sorry, I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And then, essentially, you may end up having to do UI, or people telling you and explaining your puzzle to you, rather than the people sitting in the space figuring it out themselves. Which happened to us a lot on Dead Space. We would try it and run out of time to keep solving the puzzle. There we go.
Gravity in the shot is now offline.
Look how cool that is. That's actually a really cool puzzle. Right. I think I can go. That's this thing. I have to go up here. Here, Crip's coming through, so you're going to have to wait till this does its thing. Mother... Alright. I'm going to have to go get some more stasis, I think. Hold on, let me go get stasis. And we found it over and over again, like, the puzzles were, like, much harder to do in general. I think, obviously, great level designers know how to do all this without any of what I'm talking about. And ours were great, and they figured it out. But you run out of time to polish it, so you go from the initial idea is always really hard. Can I make it? Can I make it? Can I make it? Can I make it? I can't make it! Ah! And it just takes a long time to polish a really good puzzle, is what I'm saying. The messaging is the hardest part. Can I make it through? Can I make it through? I made it through! Woohoo! I just appreciate that now more than I ever did, having worked on all this stuff. And it was like, okay, you get into focus tests and people are in there, they're like, I don't know what to do. What am I doing? You're like, you don't see the flashing light and the thing, and you put it together, and you're just baffled that people can't figure it out. And it turns out puzzles don't have to be very complicated for you to actually make an enjoyable experience, right? It can be a pretty simple setup.
I think they're jamming our signal with a mobile device. Someone get me the frequency on that jammer. They must have a gunship position near the compound.
Now what? Change your plans?
No. If they knew where we were, they would have killed us by now. Oh, shit! Signal fading. Just follow your lead and hurry.
So at this point, you're not really thinking that she's she's okay. She's probably here to help me. She's obviously under stress as well. So, let's go see if she can help us. And we kind of want to help her at this point. And magic suit swap. I lost some edit data there and had to quick run from my last save, and I had a different suit on. So, new suit. We shall keep going. Thanks, Dana. Okay, we're going this way. All right, Dana. We are trying to come your way. And cool. Let's do some more easy puzzles. Look at this. Move that out of the way. It's sort of a casket holder. Sounds good. This is a fun one. All right, get out of the way. Go, go, go. Go over there. Okay, good. All right, we're going to hop in one of these guys again and crawl through some ducts. We can just keep going. These are fun transversals. Said little streaming load funsies you walk through. Ah! Fell through again. We tried to make all of them different. Like, okay, you get into the tunnel, and now what happens? What's going to happen on this one that's different? All right, so now I'm in Unitology area. I'm going to go through this door. I'm still trying to follow Dana's clues about how to get to her. I wish I had my marker, my Unitology translation tools. She's trying to get us to get to her so she can help us with our... I remember this being discussed, and I was like, "What? Something's wrapped up," and then we forgot what was it? Like, we weren't sure why it was wrapped up. Was it one of those statues holding a ball? But anyway, it was a good prop to put in there. We still don't know, anything besides the fact that there's a marker replicating signal in my head that hurts me as it grows every minute I'm awake. Tideman is apparently trying to kill me, and Dana, is in Unitologist somewhere, in the Unitology church somewhere, trying to help me. Although her motives are unclear at this point. She's just said, "I'm not the one trying to shoot you," and that's all you got to go on. All right, so we kind of went through the ass end of lurkers of Unitology here through a thing. Oh, the babies. These are the best. That's all you got? Okay. Reload and stomp. Oh, nope. As you guys can see, I'm playing on easy mode because I want to be able to talk about dev stuff as we go. And if I'm having to intensely play the game, I won't be able to do that. All right, where am I going? The little thing says go this way. Going up. Sure is dark in here. Okay. Oh, look, marker stuff. All right, open. Kind of coming in through the back way. Enigma statues doing their little hand salute. That's very fun. Look at their robes. They're all full of stuff. It's just such a good statue. It's just very creepy. All right, so this actually I'm going to say is where we did our first Dead Space 2 gray box, and we were trying to figure out a lot of mechanics. Maybe it's not the first one. Maybe the look dev where the tech people figure out the new specs for the new game and like the new budgets. And certainly this was a new look. This was what does the Unitology church look like? I mentioned before, Ian and crew were really excited about doing that. So they were stoked to put this look together, and it came out, of course, I think amazing. Obviously based on Gothic architecture. Similar, like the Ishimura was as well, but this is sort of a mix between macabre and Gothic. It's just great. It's just rich with marker imagery everywhere. There's marker stuff up there. So, all right, if I walk forward, this is going to get pretty nasty pretty quick. So, here comes the spawn. Oh, sorry, it was actually a bossy boss. Oh boy, I'm going to have to get some, oh gosh. Shoot the baby. I remember when I first did this was really hard to shoot the baby. Don't stab me. I'm trying to shoot the baby. I'm trying to shoot the baby. Stop. There we go. I think I successfully shot the baby. Aren't we lucky that all the enemies have glowing spots for weak points? And now the kids come. I don't have time to switch out my weapons, so I'm just going to have to shoot them all one at a time. And sit here and shoot this necromorph horde. These are pretty good one-shotters. Oh, I did miss that. I was about to do stasis on one of them. Ugh. I'll try. Look at that. It's so awful. His face is all rotted off. All right. Oh, I knocked its head off. Is that all? Okay, it's time for supplies. I don't think that's all. It's never all. Okay, on regular mode, that's up. I knew there was one more out there lying around trying to come get me. Alright. Alright, we stomped everything. We've got fun candles everywhere. If you had your handy dandy Unitology Rosetta guide, you could read all these things. Gosh, I may have to go do a pass and do that and see what they all say. Why don't I know what they all say? Was I not involved in that? Not really. I think I was off with Ben. We're not doing huge amount of story work at this point in pre-production, and while this is the first look dev exercise for the art team, so they were doing all of this under Ian and folks, and they knew this backstory certainly well enough to be writing whatever would be in the church, so they did a great job. I kind of want to know what it says. I want to kind of walk around and look at it. All right, I'm kind of running out of space in my inventory because I'm playing on easy mode. All right, let's go up here. More great stuff. There's Altman, ta-da-na-na, with his ball. You know what? I've mentioned before, I don't know if that ball was meant to be Brethren Moons. I don't remember if we knew this when we were doing it, but it is now. And certainly here are more like the Brethren Moon network is alluded to here. Convergence makes you whole, which puts you as, makes a Brethren Moon is the whole point of your whole biosphere is to become. Oh, these guys are great. So good. So good. Oh gosh. Don't leap out of me. I remember we thought about that one. If you guys remember a long time ago, the Resident Evil dogs jumping out of the window, and one of the very early Resident Evils, that was always one of our early mentor games. And because of that moment, that was a classic jump scare that we were like, happy to try to use as an example of what good looks like, right? And that was kind of one of them, an homage to that moment. All right. That's much harder when you're not playing on like super easy story mode. All right, now we're going to go in here. I remember that someone was excited about that. That was like a stalker's half body that was spawned in. It was pretty cool. Comes crawling at you. Or like, okay. Oh god. That sound. That would be the exploders. Where is he? Again, more just great looking. Look at this stuff. So good. Like dark, creepy, ritualistic marker symbol with writing. A place to sit and sort of supplicate. This room is great. Look at this room. Uh-oh. Ah, I saw him at the corner of my eye. Bastard. Get out of here. You heard him before he was coming out. Where did he even come from? Is that a vent? Alright. Anyway, this room's fun. Look at how great all this is. This really dark maroon and teal striped posts. They did such a good job. Okay. And again, more markers and balls. More convergence and Brethren Moon ideologies. And maybe they don't. Maybe they weren't building towards a ball.
What's happening to you, Isaac? You tried to kill yourself. Why do you think that is? That's right. Ignore the pain. Bury it deep inside. Let me fester. Let me what?
That's Ben Not. He was definitely good at making the whole Nicole dementia arc of writing. It was him, and he was like good at putting these moments in, like in referring to Isaac, why did you try to kill yourself? That's when he had the needle in his eye, poke a needle in your eye thing, and it was him just imagining Nicole doing it. And now she's like, yeah, you're trying to kill yourself. Why is that? All of your guilt should sit inside and fester and rot. I'm not quite sure. Gosh, what is that building up to? I'll have to think about what that is. These freezes are just really, really, really great. Look at all of these. Sorry, I can just look at the art in the game forever because I just love how much they put into it. It's so good. It's so, Unitology is just so rich. It's not like faked out, and it's kind of like, and rich as well as far as materials go, right? It's not like they were like scrimping on the details or even, you know, what they were using.
Dana, you still with me? I've reached the top of the church.
You're almost here. I'll be waiting by the shuttle.
Ooh, we almost reached Dana. And then hopefully the story will be over, and then Isaac will be rescued in the end, right? That's what we've set up so far, is that he just needs to get, like, this thing out of him, and then what's he gonna do? What am I doing sitting here with an unreloaded plasma cutter? That was my fault. Okay, continuing on to the amazingly decorated Unitology place. All right, now what? What? Okay, more view of the sprawl. So again, we were trying to be like, how do we show where you are? Again, trying to slowly establish the establishing shot that we didn't have at the beginning of the game. Like, where are we? And like, we knew what the sprawl looked like, but we've never shown the player. And slowly you're getting an idea of it. It was tall buildings outside of windows. It's the, you know, remains of Titan the moon. Now you see it in all its glory. There's the remains of the moon of Titan, right? And the sprawl is kind of built around it. There's this, you know, spire of a thing there and this sort of living quarters. You get a sense that it is wrapped around you in some way. To be honest, from this viewpoint, you don't really get a full sense of the sprawl. You see more, but obviously it's hard to get a view of your surroundings from perspective view inside. Those are the big panels that were playing the Tideman announcements earlier, and normally they play happy palm trees and beach scenes. So that was what that was for. And again, like trying to figure out how to put all this in, and the moments, where does the moment go with Nicole's, you know, dementia and blah, 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 blah. Like all that takes a lot of planning with the level designers, and you're looking at the general narrative flow of things and all that. That's a lot of like, okay, no, it doesn't go there. No, it can't go there. It needs to go here. You're constantly looking at it. A lot. All right, let's save real quick. You always want to save. Yes, I do. All right, where are we going? pretty good vista shot, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's pushing the limits of what the CPU and GPU could handle at the time. We were like maxing it out for that set. Okay.
Dana! You're a unitologist. Of course you are. Why did I trust you?
Well, you didn't have a choice, Isaac. I told you there was a cure and you came running.
Why are you doing this? Why can't everyone just leave me alone, huh?
I'm going to freeze this scene really quick to chat about this moment in it. Dana has her back to Isaac and the camera, and that was all Ian Mellum's idea. As we were staging this scene, he said, let's just have her back turned to Isaac. It's just a total bitch move, and she's playing perfectly her power in the situation. She's not even looking at him. And we're all like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Let's do that. So that is why you see her with her back to him for so long, is she is making a power play here in a really big way. And then she finally turns and faces him. So that worked out quite well.
You're a dangerous secret, Isaac. EarthGov won't leave you alone because they're afraid you'll destroy their marker. After all, you did build it.
What are you talking about?
Well, that's why we brought you here. To build markers for us. To spread glorious convergence to the entire galaxy.
You people are unbelievable! Just give me the fucking cure and let me go.
Oh, we don't want to cure you, Isaac. We need that precious little head of yours just the way it is. Now would you escort Isaac to the shuttle and put him in stasis? The last thing we want is for him to die.
Oh no! That's exactly what's going to happen. Oh no, Dana gets taken out. Whoa, did you see that? She got dismembered. That's not good. And those guys got their heads blown off. And there's this guy. Oh, what are we doing? Isaac puts on his helmet, sends him out into space, and we're off to the action event of this scene. Whoa, okay. Another action set piece. These are expensive. Oh my gosh. Hope I make it. Look at that gunship. What terrible aim. It's meant to be filled with stormtroopers. And Isaac escapes in a hole, falls down. This is great. Lands here. Okay. We have a lot to talk about. Oh, not again. Another big thing? Oh, all right. Run away? Oh, I can't run away. No, I'm going to have to fight it now. Okay, hold tight. Ah! Stop grabbing Isaac. This is such an event-heavy moment. All right, am I going to hang upside down again? I am. Okay, I hit all my shots so far. I almost got it all done. Yeah, okay. Blew all the pieces off. Hopefully, he's dead now. Throws me down the hallway. All right, stasis this guy. Run to the door. No way out besides here. Gonna cross through this trigger and start this gunship sequence. And out we go. I remember people talking about this scene. Who was talking about this, right? And a level designer, like, yeah, because we were trying for a big spectacle. Yeah, it knocks you out of the space station, and then it comes flying and lands on the ship. I think Ian and Wright Bagwell were probably talking about this. And then you try to get away, and it grabs you, and I don't know, maybe Tony Giordini and Colin Hen. I can't remember. Everyone was involved in this. Like, animation was like, look how crazy animation this was. Am I shooting things? I shot the bomb, and as always, we shine a light in your face. Transition the scene, and Isaac comes powering back through, breaks open a window, which closes in sequence. Okay, chapter 6 officially. And obviously, thus endeth chapter 5. All right, that's it for this episode. Thanks for joining. Join me next time for the chapter 6 playthrough. If you want to learn to talk about narrative the way I do, go check out my web series. The writing wasn't very good. And if you want more Dead Space content, go check out our remake playthroughs at Captain Bribbo.